And good morning, and welcome to Your Money, Your Life. And Sherill, welcome to the show. So
Good
glad
morning.
to have you on. This is a time we really, really, really want to talk to you because, the more I hear about Medicare, people say, golly day, it's so much red tape and decisions to make,
Yeah.
and it's tough, and what plan this and that. So anyway, Cheryl's here today because Medicare Enrollment's coming up. So, okay.
What's getting ready to happen is now you're going to be overrun with advertisements from
Yes.
a lot of celebrities and athletes, whoever they are, whatever they are, telling you need to buy this.
Right.
And the only problem with that is when you call that 800 number, it's not their cell phone number. So they won't talk to you if you have a
Right.
problem 6 months from now.
Right.
But the dates, the timeline, what's getting ready to happen, the actual enrollment period is October the 15th through December the 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Agents can actually talk to you about the plan changes because we won't have this information until about October the 1st.
Okay.
So, if you want to talk to us or to to an agent, excuse me, October 1 and thereafter.
And that's next week.
That's next week. That's right. And actually Sunday, I think, is
Yes.
the first.
Mm-hmm.
And the new plan information will be out.
Okay.
I had a client call in yesterday. I'm happy with my drug plan that I've had.
Right.
So let's don't change anything. I said, well, here's the issue. Your plan may be perfect for this past year. Right now it's working for you perfectly. The problem is that January 1, the plan that you have today may be totally different.
Mm-hmm.
It may not even cover
Right.
the drugs that you are taking now.
Wow.
So you have to look at them. And I told her, I said, hey, let's just, have you changed anything? She had
Right.
changed one. And, I made the notes on that. And I said, well, on next Monday, I'm going to start running quotes for people,
Mm-hmm.
checking the new information. And then we'll see which plans, would shake out for that. But during that period, the things you can look at, a big one is going to be prescription drug plans and also Medicare Advantage plans,
Right.
the changes in those.
Oh, wow. Well, Cheryl, if you think you're going to sign up for Medicare, from what I hear, if you think you're just going to sign up for Medicare, it's that easy. No. When you get there,
Yeah.
oh, gosh, in there Medicare, and then you got to decide on a supplement if you don't want to pay, you got to pay XYZ amount.
Mhm.
If not, and then out of your pocket, and then they say, okay, what about your drug plan? And you're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
how many parts is it to this mess?
A bunch.
Yeah, so that's why you
Yeah.
need somebody like Cheryl to walk you through this, because if you don't have, you will not have probably full coverage, and you do want to have full coverage and make sure everything's
Yeah.
good when you do go,
Yeah.
because you can't sign up forever, like you just said.
True. It
ends.
there are variables out there that really and truly can have an incredible financial impact on you. It can cost you a lot if you don't make the right choices. And I know that Medicare is not your job,
Mhm.
so you're going to have questions, but
Yes.
it boggles my mind at times that people assume, which I have done the same thing. You
Right.
think, well, surely it's got to be this way, but it's not.
Mhm.
There are variables in there. Some situations can be easy peasy, smooth as they can be, but then there are ones that I've had people literally walk in. Well, I turned 65 back in January, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, it's September, and basically, they made a big mistake doing that. They made
Yep.
a big mistake, and we were able to help people like that, but still, it adds a whole bunch of extra layers that you got to
Yes.
work through. Whereas if you do it on the timeline you're supposed to, it's much more simple
Right,
to
absolutely.
do that.
Well, can you re-enroll if you like the plan you have? Do you have to re-enroll, I mean?
No, if, like the lady who called me the other day,
Right.
if it ends up being that what she has is still going to be good for the
Right.
prescription
I
she's
want to
taking,
keep what I have.
she can keep it.
Okay,
Yeah, but
Okay.
again, the variables there are variables with your drug plans. One is, and this is going to be a big one this year because I've been surprised at what I have seen. I've been going to classes, giving us a kind of a sneak peek at what's coming. And the one biggest thing that's coming is a lot of these plans are going to go up in premium cost.
of course.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. Some of them, like the one that I'm on personally, it's going up $2 a month. Okay,
Right. Okay, you can handle $2,
you can live that, but I'm seeing plans, anywhere from $10 a month to $50 a month,
now-
increasing in cost
Wow.
that much. So, and again, next week we'll have all of that information and be able to tell people what to expect come January. When the plan will go into effect.
What are some of the changes that can happen with a plan?
Your premium can go up.
Right?
When you go to, if you're on Medicare and you have prescription drug plan, you go to the pharmacy or you do mail order, however you do it, there can be a change. You're going to have a copay.
Right.
You're going to have a copay most of the time. And the copays can change every year.
Okay.
And some years they go up. Every once in a while they'll come down a little bit.
Right.
But your copay can change.
Okay.
Like we said, the premium plan itself can change. The pharmacies are affected every year. You could be going to ABC Pharmacy, and this coming year, your plan's not going to cover ABC Pharmacy.
And that's a shame because we get used to our pharmacist
Yes.
and our pharmacy.
Yes, and that is a big one. And the fortunate thing when we do the quotes for people, when we run the quotes, we have a database tied into CMS, Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services. So I can put your information in there, your prescriptions, your birth date, and where you live, because that's affects it. And it will tell me every single plan that you're eligible for.
Okay.
And it ranks them by all the variables.
Okay.
So I can tell you, okay, Sandra, XYZ plan based on what you're taking and the pharmacies that you want to deal with, that you would prefer to deal
Right.
with, here's your best scenario.
Okay.
So that's, and it takes a little while, to put all that together. It's surprising because unfortunately, we have a form we ask people to fill out,
Right.
so hopefully we get all the information. Well, inevitably, oh, by the way,
Right.
2 days later
Oh,
we get
yeah.
that phone call. Oh, by the way, I forgot this has changed.
Well, what are the fees associated with those changes?
The good news, working with us, there's not any kind of a fee that you have to pay us to
That's
do
good
this
to
for
know.
you. Yeah, the companies, like if I put you with, for example, we'll just use Aetna as the name. If Aetna's the plan you use, Aetna pays us a fee,
Okay.
for enrolling somebody
That's good.
in the plan.
Okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
good to know.
Yeah.
That they absorb the
Yeah.
cost for you.
And I know of instances every year this happens. Well, so and so wanted to charge me $45 to enroll me in a prescription plan, and you don't have to do that. It's not legal for somebody to charge you to help them to help you with Medicare, setting up your Medicare services.
Well, what factors do you consider when you're enrolling in a drug plan?
Here's what I look at. If me as an agency, good English there. If I have problems talking to the service department,
Right.
I promise you, you're going to have problems.
Absolutely. I mean, that is not our forte. You know, that's why it's so important to go to somebody like you, because if you have difficulties, imagine what I'm going to have.
Yeah, and it's unfortunately, you know, that is a huge deal. Some companies we deal with, they may be a little more expensive, but I can sit here and tell you, hey, these guys, when you call them, you're going to be able to talk to somebody that you can understand them and they can understand you.
That means a lot.
What a concept.
That does
what a
mean
concept.
a lot.
We can have a conversation
Right.
and understand each other. Because, man, sometimes that is not the case.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, that is the biggest thing. We look at cost, but then I look at the biggest deal for me is the customer service. You know, how your ability to talk to these people.
Yeah.
And just be able to solve problems.
Absolutely.
And that's the other thing, you know, you can buy a plan, but if you don't have the ability to talk to somebody, 'cause
Right.
we can be your advocate.
Right.
And we have had situations where we literally, you know, help the customer get a problem solved. And you know, fortunately, I deal with a lot of companies in a lot of different places. You know, other agencies, people that I think are smarter than I am, have been around longer than I have, and I will call them and say, "Hey, we're running into this. Have y'all?" And so, you know, we have a network, if you will, of people
that's
who
good to know.
I think have excellent, you know, more background than I do.
Right.
And so we're constantly talking to each other about, hey, have you run into this? So
Right.
that's, I think, you know, big thing that we bring to the table.
Well, it's so important for people to call a professional, someone that does this, works with this every day, because it's too complicated otherwise. So give Sherill a call, 316-8166.
Yep.
And if you don't answer the phone,
If we don't answer the phone, please
You're
leave a
helping
message.
somebody else.
Yes, right. That's it. That's it. Because this time of year does get insane. So please leave a message. And if you want to come to the office, 880 Country Club Road, please call and set up a time, because we have a lot of retired clients, people who don't get out of the house.
Right.
And we go see them.
and that's
So,
good to know.
Yeah, so, you know, we may not be there. And I know it may be 2:15 in the afternoon, but we may not be there right then, you know.
Right.
And of course, we have contact information on the door. You can call us, and somebody will answer the phone or call you back within a couple of minutes and say, "Hey, we'll be back over there in 30 minutes," you know,
Right.
or set
Absolutely.
up a time to meet with you.
Well, give Sherill a call and go sit down with him. It's right across the street from Pizza Inn. It's on the corner. It's the corner suite. So it's very easy to find, and Sherill is very accessible. All you got to do, like he said, is call, and he'll set you up an appointment to go and talk, you know, and get your questions answered, because I know with this kind of thing, you've got a lot of them. So anyway, I do encourage you to do that. So thank you, Sherill, again,
Yes, ma'am.
for coming on,
Thank you
and
for-
thank you for this segment, Your Money, Your Life, because you know, you've had some good information. We've had some really good feedback. So anyway, we do thank you for doing this and taking your time so early in the morning to do this.
Well, I've been up a while. So.
Well, good. Okay, well, we'll be right back with you right after these messages.